to begin here in Atlanta. Georgia with an 11-point lead, 34-23 on Grand Canyon in the first meeting between these two programs. Chuck, we expect more of the same from the Dogs here in the second half?
Well, I'll tell you what, just more of it. And I do believe we'll outscore them again in this second half, and we'll score more than 34 points in the second half. I'll say we'll score somewhere near 50.
Georgia will have the ball and inbound. Demery to Lawrence. Dogs work on the left end of the court here from our vantage point to start the second half. Godfrey above the right elbow holds the ball on his left hip away from the defender Brennan. Now he twists. Clock continues to tick down. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Demery's got the basketball. Has it knocked away. Recovers in the paint. Bounce pass down to Godfrey. He goes up. Ball knocked loose. Fight for the loose ball. Shot clock winding down. Brennan finally going to get it for Grand Canyon. Asa Newell ended up on the floor after that tussle. They try to run a long alley-oop lob down to the right end of the floor. The pass a little bit too high for Tyon Grant Foster to corral and slam, but they got a foul called on the Dogs on the play. And that's going to be a two-shot foul coming for the guys in purple, and it will be Tyon Grant Foster, again, who was scoreless. Their leading scorer this season. Preseason pick for WAC Player of the Year, was the Player of the Year in the conference last season. Did not score in the first half. He went 0 for 7. There's his first point of the game at the free throw line. 34-24. Free throw number 2 by the right-hander. Good. 34-25. Dogs with a 9-point lead in the ball. Demery over the logo. Dribbles to the left wing. Now we rotate the ball to Blue Cane. Man-to-man defense for Grand Canyon. Down in the corner, Lawrence got open. Here comes a three. Airballed it. Rebounded by Grand Canyon. Jacoby Coles caught that air ball. And now Moore dribbles behind a screen from Brennan. Left wing. And Coles is going to step in, launch a long two. Foul line extended left side, and he buries that one. All net for Jacoby Coles.
A little bit of a slow start here for the Dogs coming out of the locker room. Let's not have that again.
It's a 7-point lead for Georgia. Dogs with the ball. Blue Cane dribbles inside the paint. Now takes it back out, moving back towards the logo, middle of the floor. And there's a illegal screen by Georgia. R.J. Godfrey, his third foul. So the Dogs have had 3 straight possessions that weren't very good, honestly. Somto Surreal going to check into the ball game. And Godfrey, who just picked up foul number 3, will head to the bench. Grand Canyon's scored all the points here in this half. They've scored the first 4, so it's not like it's a glut of offense all of a sudden, but they've cut the lead down to 7. Tyon Grant Foster going to drive inside, but a whistle first. Yeah, and an offensive foul on the Antelopes.
I believe it was on Foster. I think what he did was hooked when he got his drive going. Or did they call it on 21?
Yeah, they called it on Coles, actually. Jacoby Coles. So he set the screen for Foster. For Grant Foster. And Georgia gets it on the turnover. Dogs looking for their first points of the half. We're almost 2 minutes in. Ball knocked away from Lawrence for a moment. Their guy fell down, and Lawrence chases the rolling ball. Georgia continues the possession. Somto above the right elbow. Back above the three-point line to Lawrence. He dribbles inside, passes to his left on a bounce to Somto. Ball got loose. Bodies slide to the floor to get that loose basketball. Grand Canyon going to get the ball, cover it up, and call a timeout. Colin Moore, sitting on his pants, called a time, so we'll take the time with him as Grand Canyon will have possession. Georgia a little sluggish out of the locker room at the half. It's the Dogs 34, Grand Canyon 27, but Georgia hasn't scored yet. We'll see if they get on the board after this timeout on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices. Plus, extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with points. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
You need all the energy you can get for game day. Luckily, at Georgia Power, we know a thing or two about saving energy. We understand that energy costs are an important part of your budget. That's why we're dedicated to providing tools and assistance that can help make a difference, so you can save your energy for the game. Visit GeorgiaPower.com/myenergy to learn more.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Georgia leads Grand Canyon 34-27. Most of the second half still to come. 17:54 remaining. Through January 2nd, during the BMW Road Home Sales Event, take advantage of exceptional offers on the all-electric BMW i4, the BMW X5, or the all-new BMW X3. Visit BMWATL.com today for details. Proud sponsor of Georgia Athletics, and go Dogs.
Well, this was certainly not the start in the second half we were looking for, but it is very much like the start we had at the beginning of the game. And we just got to get it back on track here quickly, and particularly defensively. That's what always seems to get the Dogs going. When we go out and start getting stops on defense, block some shots, even get some points or get down the floor and transition offensively, that seems to ignite us and help us. So let's see if we can't buckle it down here defensively, start to get some transition up the floor, and then see if that won't get us rolling.
Well, we're on defense now out of the timeout. Grand Canyon with the basketball. Coles shoves it into the corner to Tyon Grant Foster. He drives against Lawrence, who plucked the ball out of his hands. He was able to recover and find Brennan for a dunk right under the basket. Duke Brennan with his second basket of the game, and suddenly it's a 5-point game. Georgia in front, 34-29. Dogs need some points here in the half. They've outscored a 6-0. We just turned it over again. And then a kicked ball on the outlet pass by Colin Moore, just took it away from Tyron Lawrence. And then the pass up the floor got kicked, so the officials blow the play dead. Grand Canyon, chance to trim a little more fat off that lead. It was an 11-point lead for Georgia at halftime, but Grand Canyon scored all the points. A no-look bullet inside to Duke Brennan, who lays it up.
Well, he was by himself, wide open.
34-31. And now a foul, Grand Canyon. Blocking foul as Georgia gets it across the half-court line, so break for Georgia here. 8 straight points for the Antelopes out of the locker room at halftime.
Yeah, and we're still sitting here with our 34.
Dogs inbound from the side court. Demery's got the ball, dribbles slowly on the logo. Man-to-man defense by Grand Canyon. They get Kane off a curl on the left side. Doesn't pull the trigger on a three. Going to dribble it down to the baseline. Get it back to Silas between the circles. A screen by Somto. Demery goes the other way. Throws it up high on the run off the glass. Nowhere near the rim. And the rebound taken by Grand Canyon. Colin Moore into the front court. Hooks a pass back behind him to Coles for a three. Off the mark. No good. Somto with a little aggression. Goes up high for the rebound. Got hit in the face, I think. Hit in the eye, perhaps. Play continues, though, as he tries to rub at his face and his eye. Georgia has the ball with a 3-point lead. We've lost the 11-point cushion at the half. Newell, a catch-and-shoot three, left wing. Back of the rim, won't go. Rebound tipped by Kane. Off the hands of Santo, back to Blue. He finds Newell open under the basket for a two-handed dunk.
Well, as everybody went out to get the loose ball, Blue picked it up. Asa did the smart thing and went to the vacant spot underneath where there was nobody.
First points of the half for Georgia. Asa Newell with the dunk. Under 16 minutes remaining. 36-31 Dogs. Georgia with a little defense here. Take away. Newell down the lane. Euro stepping a long stride to the rim and a dunk again. Asa's got both our baskets here in the second half, and it's back to a 38-31 lead for Georgia.
And both of them came off of good defense.
Yeah, the Dogs denying inside on that last possession. Defense creating offense. Harrison picks up the dribble, throws it to the wing, almost threw it away. Demery tips it out of bounds right in front of the intended target, Colin Moore, and that's going to get us into the under-16 timeout. So deflections, steals, defense creating offense for the Dogs during that last little flurry. It's Georgia 38, Grand Canyon 31. We'll come back to State Farm Arena here in Atlanta right after this on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
With Northside Hospital, you can look forward to new beginnings, look ahead to comeback seasons, and look up for hope and strength. Northside welcomes you into our community of care, guided by one clear direction, a mission to heal. Led by our expertise in maternity, heart, cancer, orthopedics, and more, you can move into tomorrow with confidence. For a healthier future together, look to Northside Hospital.
This is your home of the Dogs. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
With the enhanced engine performance and fuel economy of newly reformulated Tri-Clean gas from Citgo, you're good to go. But good to go where? Exotic bird shopping? To your Tuesday night bowling league?
Woo! That's a turkeys.
Good to go try your luck at bingo.
G32.
Good to go to a lumberjack competition.
I'm going to move my car.
New top-tier Tri-Clean gas from Citgo. The most advanced fuel we've ever made. Now you're good to go.
Creature Comforts Brewing Company is the official craft beer of your Georgia Bulldogs. These two Athens institutions have joined forces to connect quality beer with the passion and pageantry of the UGA faithful. Whether it's Georgia's favorite craft beer, Tropicalia IPA, the two-time gold medal-winning Classic City Lager, or their new Sip 'em Seltzer, Creature Comforts has you covered on game day and every day. And if you're visiting the Classic City on game day, Creature Comforts beers are available at the Stegman Coliseum and anywhere good cold beer is served. Two brands, one town, one team. Go Dogs. Sip 'em. 21 and over. Champions drink responsibly.
No one gets you closer to the game than Sirius XM SEC Radio. Tune in for news, talk, and analysis from the offseason through regular season and into the postseason. Your team is covered anywhere you go. Get a free trial at SiriusXM.us/SEC Radio 2024. Dogs finally got on the board with a couple of Asa Newell buckets, a couple of slam dunks, and the lead is 7 for the Dogs, 38-31 here in a defensive struggle in Atlanta. The last game of the Holiday Hoops Giving triple header. Auburn won big over Ohio State in the opener today. Florida followed up with a big win over Arizona State. Georgia trying to complete the SEC trifecta. Grand Canyon going to drive inside, and Sompto called for a foul going up high and trying to block the shot on the drive. He got too much body, and that'll send the Antelopes to the free throw line with Tyon Grant Foster, 6'7" graduate transfer, most recently from DePaul. Spent a year at Kansas, started his college career at junior college. Free throw by the right-hander is good. All of his points have been from the line today, and he's got 3 of them. He's their leading scorer this season, averaging 16 a game. But was ice cold in the first half, 0 for 7. He hits both foul shots here. He's got 4 points in this contest. It's a 5-point Georgia lead, 38-33. LeFew back in for some offense now, perhaps, for Georgia. Has the ball, dribbles to his right, gives it to Newell. Toe on the line. They gave him a 3. I was looking at the wrong line. His toe was on the NBA line, not on the college line, so it was clearly a three-pointer. Asa Newell with a Scana Energy three-point shot. He's got both of our threes in the game. That gives him a dozen tonight, and Georgia stretches it out to a 41-33 lead.
Now let's get stops.
There's a deflection and a denial right there by Sompto. LeFew tried to save it into the courtside seats, ran out of space. Grand Canyon will have the ball. 10 seconds on the shot clock, and they'll have to inbound it from the far corner. Will Howard, the official, no relation, summoning the Grand Canyon players. Nope, come down a little bit deeper into the corner. Yep, that's where you got to throw it in from. They get it to Tyon Grant Foster. He's only got 5 seconds. He's on the logo. Dribbles to his right. drives inside, ball denied, deflected by the Dogs, blocked, and Georgia runs out. They push Somto in the back.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness, just shoved him in the back after Blue had distributed the ball to the trailer. He was going to fly in and dunk it.
That is dangerous.
And Luke Ward just shoved him with two hands right in the back and sent him sliding over the end line into the first row of cheerleaders right next to the basket support, where he's still lying face down on the court. Now Yoshi Saito, the trainer for Georgia, is going to have to come check on it. I think the officials are going to take
a look at this. This could be a flagrant. I mean, that was...
Yeah, they're looking at it right now. Or at least they're huddling and discussing, looking at the video.
Somto is up and going to the huddle, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, he just got a blind shove right in the back. He's may have scraped his elbow or something. He's grabbing at his neck. But he is up and back in the Georgia huddle. And now two of the officials are going to look at the video monitor. Yeah, that was clearly a flagrant foul. Or as they used to call it, with the X forms on the arms, the intentional foul. We'll see how they go here.
It looked like that the officials almost had to have it pointed out to them.
Courtney Green, the lead official, and Anthony Jordan were looking at the monitor. Now they brought Will Howard over. No relation.
Yeah.
And now Anthony's backed away. I guess the rule is you can only have two guys looking at the screen at once.
Well, you have to have that third vote.
But he can't look at it when the rest of them do.
Sometimes it's 1-1, and there's not enough room up there.
It might save some time, though, if they all looked at it together.
It's a little monitor.
It's kind of like me, you, and Adam. We do everything together. Well, not everything, but we do this together.
We do,
anyway.
Yeah, right. There's some things that we leave to others.
Now they're going to huddle, but they huddle together. They get all three heads in a group there and discuss what two of them just saw on the video monitor.
Well, actually, they brought the third over, so they've all three seen it now. And we could have saved them all a lot of time if they'd have just come up here and asked.
Well, let's see what the call's going to be if they actually explain it to us. Well, they'll tell the scores table. We'll try to read the sign language from way up here above the floor.
There was some pointing going on.
Now, Anthony Jordan, one of the officials, is going to talk to Bryce Drew, the Grand Canyon head coach. And Courtney Green is talking to Georgia's Mike White about their discovery. Doesn't look like they're going to call a flagrant.
There's two shots.
Okay, they will call a flagrant. Yeah, everybody's going to back off the lane. So Somto's going to get two shots, then Georgia will have possession of the ball. So it was a flagrant foul. We just get the announcement in the building here.
I believe we said that immediately.
Yes, I believe you're correct. All right, Somto at the line, 6'11", 260-pound freshman. And the free throw is up and in. Cyril on the season, just 37% at the line coming into this game, but he hits the first attempt of the night. Free throw number 2. The big right-hander floats it up and good, all nets. So Somto connects on the flagrant foul shots.
And now I believe that should also be Georgia's ball out underneath. Is that correct? Because the ball.
Yes, Georgia will have it on the baseline.
Yep.
So the Dogs have worked that lead back up to 10 now, 43-33. Got a little early scare out of the locker room.
Well, and we caught them cheating.
Pushing people in the back.
Pushing people in the back.
Demry throws it into Blue in the corner. It's intercepted right in the corner about 4 feet away from him by Grant Foster. They stole the inbound pass. Now an offensive foul.
And that should be flagrant.
On Grant Foster. He just shoved Demry with his arm, just pushed him right in the chest and sent him sliding back on the seat of his pants. And they call that immediately. And it happened right in front of the Grand Canyon bench. Well, that's 2 shoving fouls. They're getting their money's worth anyway. Georgia will have the ball in the backcourt.
Wow.
Silas is okay. He got up immediately. He's going to dribble the ball back into the front court now. Georgia on the attack here on the left end of the floor, leading by 10 with 14 minutes to go in the game. Newell, underhand toss to LeFew. Dribbles to the top of the key. Give it to Silas. Demery attacks. Feeds it. Oh, my goodness. He fed the beast. Samto in the paint with a high two-handed slam. He brought the hammer.
Somebody stop that man.
No, more of it.
More of it.
Samto with a vicious dunk.
I got to tell you, that ignites the crowd when he does that.
And Demery just, like a magnet, just attracted 3 purple shirts to the baseline. He just threaded the needle with a bounce pass to Samto, who finished the deal. 45-33 now. The lead is 12 for Georgia, and we've got a whistle on the front end. What was the call there? Did they call Dakota for a foul? They did. LeFew with a blocking foul. So we play on. They inbound. Grant Foster left open for a 3. Jab step. Pulls it down. He hesitated, and he pulled it back and missed the second attempt. He kind of pump fake, took the jab step, then pulled it back. We let him shoot it, and he hit the rim again. He's not made a field goal tonight. 0 for 10.
Cyril closing in on a double-double. He's got 8 points and 7 rebounds.
We got plenty of time for that. Just less than 13 minutes remaining. LeFew gets the ball to Asa with 7 to shoot. Newell beyond the arc. Needs some help. Got to put it up. 2 seconds. Just throws it up in the air and nicks the rim. And the rebound is taken by Brennan. They shoved Blue Cane out of the way on the rebound. No call. He's up and sprinting into the front court. Brennan takes a feed from the baseline for Grand Canyon. Oh, my goodness. The ball deflecting off bodies. We had 2 guys diving on the floor for a loose ball. And Grand Canyon going to get a dunk to finish the play. Now Duke Brennan helping up Asa Newell, and Samto's on the floor again.
Well, I think he and Asa collided on the floor.
Samto got a big elbow right in the face from Brennan as he was laying up that basketball. It looked unintentional, but he got a whack right across the face. He went down immediately. Brennan dove over him to get the loose basketball. It deflected off his body, and Shaw picked it up and dunked it home, and that was the end of the play. As we had 2 guys down on the floor. Newell got helped up by Brennan, but Samto is still down, and the game has been halted for a moment with 12:29 to go, and Georgia leading by 10. It looked like he got a pretty good piece of the Brennan's elbow right across the face. I got to tell you,
Samto's, he got raked across the eye earlier. He got shoved in the back and hit into the floor, and then he got just whacked in the nose, straight across the nose. Maybe bleeding too.
Yeah, he's holding looks like a towel up to his face. We're far away, so we can't really see if it's above his eye, under his eye, on his nose. Yeah. But he's being walked back to the huddle, and Yoshi Saito's going to walk him to the end of the bench, I think. They're going to take care of him. We need the cut man. You know a good cut man? They're going to take him to the locker room, it looks like. Yeah, he's going up the tunnel.
I knew the best in the business, Angelo Dundee, but Angelo passed away a few years ago.
Well, that would not be beneficial to us then.
No, but he was great.
All right, so Samto has gone up the tunnel, holding a towel to his face, got whacked across the face. The officials are looking at the video monitor yet again. We'll take this time to remind you that Georgia basketball is brought to you in part by the Progressive Keys to Program Progress, providing cars to veterans in need. Speaking of veterans, Navy defeated Army today in a big way in their annual battle.
And that was not expected. Army was having, and still has had, just an amazing season. But that's one of those games, Army-Navy, that you just, the whole country stops to watch that. It is such a moving thing to watch those 2 sides come together after the game.
31-13 was the final. Navy upsetting number 22 ranked Army. Got the FCS playoffs continuing, and then next week the CFP playoffs begin Friday night. That's the game dog fans will be interested in, as Notre Dame hosts Indiana in a first-round playoff game, and the winner will play Georgia in the Sugar Bowl on New Year's night in New Orleans.
Have you looked at that game at all, those 2 sides, just to see what you thought of them?
Indiana, Notre Dame?
Yeah.
Not a great deal.
You'll wait and see who comes out of it, really. I mean, that's...
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter for Georgia. I mean, you kind of waste your
about
time looking at one. Maybe.
I'm talking about when you start to do your deep dives.
Yeah, that'll be this coming week for me anyway. I haven't really watched. I haven't seen Indiana much at all. I've seen Notre Dame on a couple of games, but nothing meticulous as far as looking deep into the team.
I saw their one loss at home to Northwestern. Was it Illinois that beat
Northern Illinois? Yeah,
I think that was the one game I happened to see, and they lost that one.
All right, back in playing here after a brief injury timeout. Dogs with the basketball and a 10-point lead, 45-35. Demery skips it to Godfrey, who's on the floor with 3 fouls. There's a foul called on Grand Canyon. The whistle blows against Ray Harrison, I think. A holding foul.
And RJ has had to come back because both Asa and Sompto were down and out. Asa's up and walking around. I think Sompto has come back out of the locker room, but he's not up right now. We'll see if he's going to go back in.
The Dogs have Demery and Kane, Lawrence, Dylan James, and Godfrey are 5 on the floor. Blues got the ball, edge of the logo, back near half court, sends it to his right to Tyron Lawrence. He threads the needle, runs through 2 defenders, and a reach-in foul on Grand Canyon again. Stops the clock with 11:59 to go. Another whistle against the guys in purple. That might be on Moore again. That last foul, well, I said Harrison, but they called it on Moore. And this one is also on Moore. That's going to be 4 on Colin Moore, the 6'4 transfer from Georgia State. He'll have to go to the Grand Canyon bench down to our right. So he exits the game. Georgia inbounds it right in front of the basket. Demery into Godfrey, back to Demery. Worked it into the corner now to Lawrence. He moves up the far wing. Time on the shot clock, 10 seconds to shoot. Kane with the basketball. He's between the circles. He dribbles back. Looks to his left, now his right. 4 to shoot. Lob it to Godfrey. Got to put it up. 2 to shoot, 1 to shoot. RJ, finger roll at the end of the shot clock. Rolls off the front of the rim. Rebound goes to Grand Canyon. Antelopes push it up the floor in a hurry. Tyon Grant Foster, scoop shot. Hits the rim, won't go. Got his own miss. Then scoops it up and in a second time and got a foul. That's his first field goal of the game. He's got an opportunity for 3.
Did they call that on?
They did. Yeah, that's 4 on RJ now.
Wow. Yeah, and here comes Asa back in immediately.
And Tyon Grant Foster with his first field goal of the game for their leading scorer this season with 11:28 to go in the game. Knocks down the free throw as well for a 3-point play. So he's got 7. And 5 of those has come from the foul line here, and all of his points in the second half. It's 45-38. Georgia leads by 7. Dogs have the ball. Asa Newell back in. Godfrey just picked up his 4th foul. Goes to the bench for Georgia. Mike White working from the bench, up and down the floor, right in front of his bench. Demery tries to drive. He slips a little bit. Passes to James. Kind of a sloppy pass off his fingertips and taken away by Grand Canyon. Dogs turn it over. Harrison drives inside, surrounded by defenders. Jump pass to the wing. Now they attack again with Jacoby Coles. And a foul near the baseline as Coles drove in from the right corner, called on Grand Canyon. Offensive foul.
Asa Newell got over an established position.
That's 4 on Coles now. So they have 2 guys with 4. We have 1. Coles will exit. Brennan will come back in, the 6'10", 250 transfer from Arizona State. Georgia with the ball, Chuck, and leading by 7. And Silas just kind of walking it into the front court. Do we look like we're slowing down the game? Or that just
it's not
this is what they're giving us?
We generally play. Terrible pass.
Dylan James, caught it middle block on the right side and came down and tried to pass it to the near wing and threw it away. Grand Canyon just got away with a walk. They've got the ball. Tyon Grant Foster for 3. Shoots beyond the NBA line. It won't go. Dylan fights for the rebound. Dylan James clears for Georgia. The Dogs have it back. Georgia with a 7-point lead in the ball. And Grand Canyon has switched to a zone. There's a deep Scana Energy three. Blue Kane way beyond the three-point line on the right wing. Kane with his first three of the game. He's got 7 points now.
And somebody other than Asa hits a three for us. That's good.
Lead is 10 again for the Dogs. 48-38. Georgia's big lead of the game has been 13. Turnaround 2 is good by Ray Harrison. Left of the lane for Grand Canyon. His first points of the half. He's got 7 in the game. 48-40, Georgia in front. 9.5 minutes remaining here in Atlanta.
Well, the Antelopes in this zone, and it's 3-2 zone. It's caused us some trouble.
Dylan James inside. They converge on him, block his shot 2 feet in front of the basket. They run out. We block it on the other end with Dylan. Ball still loose and picked up by Grand Canyon. They kick it out for a three. Grant Foster still can't get it to go. Another rebound. Bodies on the floor and a whistle and a foul. It's going to be Georgia basketball. The foul on Grand Canyon, much to the dismay of their head coach, Bryce Drew, who's letting Anthony Georgian have an earful right in front of him. Tyon Grant Foster with the foul. That's his first of the game for Grand Canyon. Georgia's going to come down and shoot free throws. That's their 8th foul of the half. So the Dogs are in the bonus, and it'll be Demery shooting the 1-and-1 for Georgia. The physicality of this game has picked up intensely.
And, you know, it's been primarily...
Yes, I'm just going to say it's one-sided, too. Santos Surreal is out of the game, shaken up a little bit earlier. It looked like he, from our vantage point, we don't have a replay monitor, and we're not on the floor with this broadcast, but it looked like he caught an elbow across the face, and they took him into the tunnel. He is back out on the bench, as Chuck pointed out earlier, but not back in the game. Demery at the line for Georgia, front end of the 1-and-1. Free throw in the air, and good. Silas with his first point of the second half. He's got 6. Georgia only has one player double figures. That's Asa Newell with a dozen. Now Silas for a second free throw to give the Dogs a 10-point lead again. The right-hander puts it up and going to bounce and roll in there good. Got them both to go. Justin Abson will check into the ballgame for the Dogs, as will Dakota LeFew. Demery and Dylan James come out of the contest. Antelopes inbound the basketball. They'll work it up with Styles Phipps, a freshman from Phoenix. Still with a left-hand dribble in his hands. Kicks it back. Luke War, long three. Good. That was beyond the NBA line. Luke War with his second 3 of the game. He's got 8. He's their leading scorer tonight. 50-43, Dogs by 7. Georgia with the ball. The zone still causing the Dogs some problems. Oh, Tyron Lawrence, wide open 3, front of the rim. Won't go from the left wing. Rebound by Grant Foster. LeFew impedes his progress, then bumped out of the way. He's going to drive in for a dunk. That was an open dunk. Once he got past LeFew, there was nobody else to guard the basket.
There was nobody there, and he went straight to the rim with it. Easy dunk. Easy
Dogs.
2 points. Way too easy.
Dogs trying to survive. A little flurry of points by Grand Canyon. 3 ball. That'll help stem the tide. Blue Kane with a falling down 3 on the right wing. A Scana Energy 3-pointer by Blue Kane.
That is huge, and I just keep feeding him.
Oh, alley-oop, one-handed dunk in the finish by Duke Brennan from the right side of the rim. He's got 8 in the game. Back and forth we go. Georgia by 6, 53-47. LeFew, high lob to Abson, 2 steps down the lane, and he gets it to go with one hand, leaning into the bucket, and they foul him on the play as well. Send Abson to the foul line for an and-1 opportunity.
Well, that was a nice little floater by Justin. Now go up to the line and knock down convert that 3-point play.
He got the 2, got the hard part. Now the free throw will come after the timeout. We've got a break here in Atlanta. 7:46 remaining in the ball game. Georgia by 8. It's the Dogs 55, Grand Canyon 47. And we're back after this on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
After investing billions to light up our network. T-Mobile is America's largest 5G network. Plus, right now, you can switch, keep your phone, and we'll pay it off up to $800. See how you can save on every plan versus Verizon and AT&T at T-Mobile.com/across America.
Up to 4 lines via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Qualifying unlocked device credit service ported 90-plus days with device and eligible carrier and timely redemption required. Card has no cash access and expires in 6 months.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of Georgia Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
Creature Comforts Brewing Company is the official craft beer of your Georgia Bulldogs. These two Athens institutions have joined forces to connect quality beer with the passion and pageantry of the UGA faithful. Whether it's Georgia's favorite craft beer, Tropicalia IPA, the 2-time gold medal winning Classic City Lager, or their new Sip 'em Seltzer, Creature Comforts has you covered on game day and every day. And if you're visiting the Classic City on game day, Creature Comforts beers are available at the Stegman Coliseum and anywhere good cold beer is served. 2 brands, 1 town, 1 team. Go Dogs! Sip 'em. 21 and over. Champions drink responsibly.
Georgia in front of Grand Canyon University. The Dogs lead the Antelopes 55-47 with 7:46 to play. Grand Canyon starting to carry a foul load. They have 4 players with 4 fouls. Duke Brennan has 4. Jacoby Coles has 4. Colin Moore has 4, and that's 3 starters.
Well,
they're in a heap of trouble with that situation.
Scott, we mentioned just a second just how physical this game has gotten on the part of the Antelopes, and it's reflected in their foul situation.
Georgia has 1 player with 4 fouls, and that's R.J. Godfrey. Dakota LeFew has 3, no one else with more than that.
And the funny part, the odd part to that is that R.J. Godfrey picked up his 4th foul when he was in the game, and he wasn't really supposed to be in the game, but both Asa and Sompto had to come out because they had been hurt on the same play. They both had to come out of the game. Coach White had to put somebody big back in there, and he put R.J. back on the floor, and he picks up another foul. That was his 4th.
Well, Sompto, who is back on the bench after being taken up the tunnel following an injury, has not returned to the game since he got that whack across the face by a inadvertent Duke Brennan elbow. That's what it looked like for us anyway. Justin Absent at the line for an and 1. It rims out on it. Missed the 3-point play opportunity. Georgia with an 8-point lead. Antelopes with the basketball. Grant Foster dribbles with some trouble on the wing. Demery guarding. Overhead pass back to the head of the key to Phipps. He backs it up on the logo, and they rotate the ball into the corner. Grant Foster going to dribble and drive on Demery, and they call Silas for a foul, a block on the baseline. That's 2 on Demery. And that's the 6th team foul, so Grand Canyon not in a shooting situation yet. 7:27 to go in the game. Phipps fakes the entry under the basket, kicks it on the wing. Luke Warr with a 3 straight on. That guy's deep, and he's money from NBA range. That's his 3rd 3 of the game. And it's back to a 5-point game.
Yeah, we keep stretching it out. They keep pulling it back.
Silas tries to match. Misses a deep 3 straight on. He was wide open, hit it off the rim. Rebound to Grand Canyon. Here they come, 55-50, Georgia by 5. The other guys have the ball. Warr going to put it on the floor. Long strides on that right-hand dribble. Lost it underneath the basket. Picked up by Brennan. And his putback attempt rolls slowly, precariously off the right side of the iron. And they get another offensive rebound. Now a drive by Moore on the wraparound to Brennan is deflected and out of bounds.
It's off them.
Touched out by the guys in purple. Georgia converged defensively. We had a handful of guys in that restricted area under the basket. At least 3 white shirts.
Sompto coming back now, giving Asa a bit of a rest. So
Absent stays on the floor. He'll inbound the basketball as that last out-of-bounds play was off Grand Canyon. So Georgia with the ball and a 5-point lead. We've had as much as a 13-point lead. That came late in the first half. We've led by a dozen here in this half. Absent alley-oop. Somto get back in the game. Two-handed dunk.
Well, when you beat the front line of that 3-2, that only leaves two guys back there. If they don't float back underneath the basket in a hurry, bad things are going to happen to the basket.
That's why Surreal's shooting almost 80% from the floor because of shots like that. He's got really good hands. Here's a three ball by Grand Canyon from the right corner. Ray Harrison misses it off the rim, and it's rebounded by the Dogs, who lead by 7, 57-50. 6 minutes to play here in Atlanta. Steal on the far side. Tyon Grant Foster with the steal. Sprint for the backboard. The running layup won't go. We foul him on the play. He's going to get 2 free throws coming. Silas Demery with a late push picks up the foul. That's his third. And Demery's pass wasn't crisp
I
to
was
the
going
wing.
to say, I'm sure if Silas had that, if he had that to do over again, he'd have zipped that ball out there rather than kind of lob it out. It gave them plenty of time to grab it going the other way.
So Grant Foster with the free throw for Grand Canyon. That's good. That's where the bulk of his work has been today. He's just 2 for 15 shooting the basketball today. This is their leading scorer. 16 points a game, but hasn't had his stuff today. 0 for 6 on threes, but he's perfect from the line. 6 for 6 so far. And now 7 for 7. So it's a 5-point lead for the Dogs again. LeFew brings it into the front court for Georgia. Between the circles, plays catch with Blue on the wing. Back to Dakota, straight on three. He hasn't hit one yet. He missed it, but look who rebounds and finishes strong with a foul. Somto Surreal with a one-handed dunk on the missed three-pointer by Dakota LeFew.
Well, he has some throwdowns to show in this game. If he wants to put together a highlight reel, he can run what he's done in this game underneath the basket.
He dunks with power, you might say, and lets everyone know it in the building. And now he's got a and one opportunity here. Try to put Georgia up by 8. The foul was on Luke War, his first. Somto spins the ball in his left hand, shoots with his right. Free throw, too deep. Absent with the offensive rebound, throws it back to Lawrence. Georgia gets a chance at more points on the possession. Dakota to Lawrence on the left wing. Back to LeFew, head of the key. To Kane on the right side. Back to Dakota. Deep three on net. Good. Dakota LeFew finally knocks the lid off.
Dakota had looked at that shot the other 2 times that the ball had gone through him and passed it up. I knew if it hit his hands again, that ball was headed to the bucket.
4th 3 of the half. They call a 30-second timeout. We'll take it quickly. Timeout here with 5:18 to go. Georgia by 10 again. 62-52 over Grand Canyon on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for Core Power to recover right. A delicious protein shake with 26 grams of high-quality protein to build muscle. Champion your recovery with Core Power, proud partner of Georgia basketball. Learn more at corepower.com.
Go Dogs, sick 'em. Whether they're on the road or the home court, my family and I get loud and proud whenever the Dogs are unleashed. In this basketball season, Scana Energy, part of all the action, is a proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. So join my family and Scana in cheering on the Dogs to glory this season. Sign up with Scana today and get up to $100. Call 877-GO-SCANA or visit scanaenergy.com/GoDogs for details. Limited time offer, terms and conditions apply.
Want more exclusives and behind-the-scenes Bulldogs content, more game highlights, mic'd ups, and original programming? Search for the Georgia Bulldogs All Access channel on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Georgia Bulldogs All Access, your official inside connection to Georgia football and all Georgia Bulldogs sports.
Piedmont is passionate about Georgia, about each and every person that makes our state incredible. That's why we're leading real change in healthcare, dedicating ourselves to providing a quality patient experience through innovation, personalization, and teamwork. What does that mean for you? You get up-to-date treatment, collaborative care, and the best possible outcomes. To see more about our commitment to raising the standards of quality in Georgia, visit piedmont.org/quality care. Piedmont, real change lives here.
Just pushed that lead back up to 10. in large part to the work of Somto Surreal, who was knocked out of the ball game for several minutes after he took an elbow to the face, then had to be taken up into the tunnel into the Georgia locker room and cleaned up quickly, and then back on the bench and eventually back into the game, Chuck. And in the last 3 games now, Somto Surreal 13 of 14 from the floor in the last 3 games. Well, he doesn't miss a lot because he takes a lot of high percentage shots. Most of them are dunks, and he's cleaning it up. Dogs 62, Grand Canyon 52. As Georgia
just need a couple of more rebounds here in these final 5 minutes, and you'll have a double-double.
Dogs with 2 players with 4 fouls now. Demery and Godfrey each with 4 fouls in the game. Silas picking up his 4th. Moments ago. Grand Canyon for 3 from the right wing. Won't go. Rebound off the fingertips of Somto right down to Blue Kane, who was waiting on it on the baseline. Now Kane will take it across the half-court line. Less than 5 minutes to play here in Atlanta. Georgia by 10 in the first meeting with the Antelopes of Grand Canyon.
They've come out of that zone now and gone man-to-man.
Lawrence in the corner, fakes, goes up the wing to Somto, gets the ball back, now runs an alley-oop to Somto, and Grant Foster was reading that one all the way. He tipped the alley-oop pass and stole it. He's got the ball running up through the Georgia defense. Somto blocks the shot on the left block by the Antelopes.
He hustled down the floor after missing the alley-oop as it was blocked, but he hustled down the floor and blocked their shot at the rim.
Trying to draw a foul there. Their guy fell to the floor. And what's the call? We got a 30-second timeout here with 4:34 to go. Grand Canyon wanted a 30-second timeout. It's going to be their basketball, but they're down 10 with 4:34 to go. So every possession is huge for them the rest of the way. Did Georgia call the time? Let's see. I'm showing Grand Canyon with no timeouts remaining now in the game, so I think that was their last one. Georgia is showing has 2 remaining. 20 seconds on the shot clock for the Antelopes. 6-2 coming into this one. Winners of 4 in a row. They had beaten Norfolk State, Stanford, and Hawaii. And then in their last game, knocked off an NAIA team, Life Pacific. That was a week ago today.
You know, last year, you mentioned they'd been in the NCAA tournament 3 out of 4 years. And last year, they were in Gonzaga was the team that knocked them out.
They've had some conference news recently. They're in the WAC, but they're leaving the Western Athletic Conference. They originally were going to the West Coast Conference, and then backed out of that deal and moving to the Mountain West Conference after they got an invitation. Then earlier this week, a lawsuit was announced by the West Coast Conference. They're suing Grand Canyon for breach of contract, so they've got some legal issues they're dealing with. They get a driving baseline layup on the out-of-bounds play there to make it 62-54.
Yeah, that's an issue we need to deal with.
4:10 to go. Georgia with an 8-point lead in the ball. LeFew ducks around a screen from Somto. They're going to call that an illegal screen.
He did.
Somto with an offensive foul. His first.
A bit of a hip check.
We don't need turnovers at this stage in the game. 4:06 to go, and Georgia's lead is 8. That last timeout was a Georgia timeout, so Grand Canyon's already out of their timeouts. Georgia with 2 remaining after using that last 30-second timeout. Antelopes with the basketball all the way down the lane, and Harrison's shot is contested. Long rebound picked up at half court. Going to be taken by Tyron Lawrence on the front side. He'll rush in for a 2-handed dunk on the run.
And full credit to Somto Cyril for tipping that ball ahead. He saw our guy breaking, and he tipped it ahead. And Ty Lawrence caught it in stride and stuffed it on the other end.
Dogs by 10 again, 64-54. Coles with the drive, high over Somto, won't fall. Brennan with the tap back on the offensive rebound, and it's going to settle in good for Duke Brennan. He's got 10 now for the guys in purple. The lead is 8 again, 3:22, and the clock moving. Dakota LeFew dribbles on the Hawks logo, middle of the floor, skips it to Somto, right wing. Back to LeFew. 12 on the shot clock. He shimmies, moves to his left, feeds it on a bounce back to the right. Somto, nowhere to go. He straddles the three. Finds help on the wing. That's Lawrence. Long stride. Euro step through the paint on an angle, and he laid it up from the left side with glass. Lawrence now with 8 points. Lead back to 10, 66-56 Dogs. Well, if they want to exchange baskets, we'll do that. Harrison, penetrate, kick out, 3-ball. Well, we don't need that. They hit a 3 from the right corner. Colin Moore. Moore with his first points of the game, and it's a 3 in front of their bench on the right end.
And wide open 3. We've had trouble guarding the 3 all day.
66-59, 7-point Georgia lead. Lawrence attacks down on the left baseline, sends it up the wing to Blue. He goes in, over the head pass to Somto, lost it, rolled out of bounds, touched out last by the guys in purple. Somto on the floor, Brennan over the top of him. Newell shoves him out of the way. Some words exchanged between Duke Brennan and Somto Surreal now.
Well, I think Asa was just trying to protect Somto, and now Somto's got to. If something starts, I'm on Somto's side.
Well, we've got a timeout on the floor with 2:18 to go. Let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification, Bulldog Sports Network. Timeout with Georgia leading by 7. Officials may look at the monitor. We'll have that information, we hope, when we come back. Break on the floor here at State Farm Arena. It's the Dogs 66, Grand Canyon 59 on the Bulldog Sports Network.
At Kroger, an annual Boost membership just got even better. Now you can choose from Disney Plus with ads, Hulu with ads, or ESPN Plus on us when you sign up. Plus, enjoy unlimited free delivery, double fuel points, exclusive offers, and free items. Sign up for a Boost membership today. It's an easier way to save, including new streaming options to relax with while we deliver your groceries. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Don't go anywhere. The Dogs are coming right back. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
You need all the energy you can get for game day. Luckily, at Georgia Power, we know a thing or two about saving energy. We understand that energy costs are an important part of your budget. That's why we're dedicated to providing tools and assistance that can help make a difference, so you can save your energy for the game. Visit GeorgiaPower.com/myenergy to learn more.
Game day traditions start with a cup of community coffee. Proud coffee partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. Family owned since 1919, Community Coffee has spent 5 generations roasting great tasting blends right here in the USA. They're just as dedicated to making a difference in the community with programs that support teachers, military service members, disaster relief, and first responders. Try Community Coffee or find it near you at communitycoffee.com.
Let's huddle up and make things happen with the only cards for Athens, the Georgia Bulldogs Regions Visa debit card and prepaid Regions Now card. Confidently show your dog pride and get your card today. Regions, the official bank of the SEC. Georgia in the second half being out-rebounded by Grand Canyon by 6. They still have the overall edge, 32-31, but the Antelopes have been more aggressive on the glass than Georgia here in the half. The Dogs still shooting a good percentage, 52%. 36% for Grand Canyon, and Georgia has 9 blocks in the ball game. Georgia came into this game 4th in the nation in block shots at 6 per contest, and we've exceeded that today. Georgia by 7 right now with 2:18 to go. Dogs ball. Dimry inbounds into the corner to Somto with only 8 seconds on the shot clock when we inbound the basketball. Dimry's baseline 2 is off the rim. 2 bounces and picked up on the rebound by Grand Canyon. Grant Foster back to Coles. He penetrates, kicks out for a 3. Front of the rim, no good. They beat us to the loose ball rebound. Their guy falls to the floor. Ray Harrison, because we hip checked him or kicked him, says Anthony Jordan. They whistle a foul on the Dogs.
I think got blue cane.
LeFew, they say?
Was it
Dakota? Yeah, they just gave him his fourth foul of the game. 66-59, clock stopped with 1:55 to go, and Ray Harrison at the line. Not that Ray Harrison for Georgia, if you're thinking that.
Again, that's a no relation.
No relation, yeah. Harrison with 7 points in the game, 88% free throw shooter. His first trip to the line tonight. Free throw is good. He was an all-conference player in the WAC last year. Spent 2 years at Presbyterian College, where he was named the Big South Freshman of the Year back in 21. 8 points in the game for Harrison. He's got another free throw coming. They're trying to trim into that lead a little bit more. If he hits this foul shot, it'll be a 5-point game again. We've had a lot of that here in the second half, and he does hit the free throw. So here we go. Still too much time left to enjoy. 66-61, Dogs by 5 with the ball. Minute 47 remaining. They don't have any timeouts left. Blue on the logo. Dribbles with the left hand. Inside, turns it over on a bounce pass to Newell. Steal by Grand Canyon. They drive, running layup. Good. It's a 4-point game. No, it's a 3-point game. Excuse me. 66-63.
Yeah, we're down to a one-possession game now.
I think George is going to call a time. Demery dribbles it across the half court, gets it into the front side. Grand Canyon, as close as they've been since the first half. It's a 3-point lead for Georgia, 66-63, with 84 seconds remaining in the contest.
Scott, the Dogs have gone back to something that's been a bugaboo for them several times here in the season. They've had a lot of turnovers in this game. In fact, if you look back right now, we've had 18 of them. Now, they've had 13, but Georgia with 18 turnovers, that's not what we like to see by any stretch.
And Grand Canyon has converted the 18 turnovers into 16 points. Georgia's converted their 13 into a dozen points. Dogs call a time. We have one left in a minute 24 to try to get out of the building with a win. Would be our 9th of the season. We're at home for the next 2 games against Buffalo next Thursday, or this coming Thursday, December 19th. That'll be a 7 o'clock game at Steckman Coliseum, Georgia and Buffalo, and then we'll follow that one up with another home game on December 22nd. That's a week from tomorrow. On a Sunday, December 22nd, against Charleston Southern. That's an afternoon contest at 3:30. Get your tickets now. Georgia in the front court, hands off. LeFew to Demery, who inbounded the basketball. Lawrence has it, high right wing. Tight man-to-man defense by Grand Canyon. Now, Lawrence, jump pass into the corner to LeFew. Or Demery glides along the baseline, tried to lay it up, ball never got up there. Taken away by Grand Canyon. They have the ball, a chance to tie the game now if they hit a 3. Tyon Grant Foster can't hit the 3, still cold. Rebound tipped out by Somto. It's going to be Grand Canyon ball. They'll get a reprieve. 51 seconds to go. Georgia by 3, 66-63. Tyon Grant Foster 0 for 8 on threes and just 2 for 17 from the field today. Just had a really brutal game shooting the basketball. And the officials are going to look and see. I think they're looking to see who knocked it out of bounds.
Oh, no, they're going to.
I mean, even from our eyes way up here in the mezzanine, it looked like Somto tipped it out. But they're going to review it inside the 2-minute mark with 51.3 seconds to go to stretch the game out a little bit longer, make sure they have the call right. 66-63. The last lead Grand Canyon had was with 11:42 to go in the first half. They led 14-12. Georgia's largest lead of the game has been 13 points. That came late in the first half. We led by 11 at intermission. But the Antelopes have outscored the Dogs here in the second half by 8. They had 23 in the first half. They've scored 40 in the second half. And they've out-rebounded the Dogs by 9, and that's a large – those things are –
well, yeah, they go together.
They connect, don't they?
Yeah. When we're not doing our job, and our job is glass, and we're not excelling there, things generally don't go well for us on the scoreboard.
Yeah, Georgia third in the nation in rebound margin coming into this game, plus 13 a game. And tonight, we're -3 on the glass. Grand Canyon inbounds. They're 3 down. They can tie it on this shot. Coles, head of the key, 3 won't go. Rebound, Lawrence. Big rebound for the Dogs.
Boy, that is.
As the transfer guard pulled it down with 2 hands. Now Georgia into the front court. 38 seconds to go. Georgia clinging to a 3-point lead. 66-63. Lawrence being pestered on the wing by Colin Moore. LeFew has it on the far side of the floor. Screened by Newell. LeFew moves to his right towards the baseline. Now back up. One-handed pass up the wing to Dimry. 5 to shoot. 4 to shoot. 18 to play. We get it to Newell on the block. The lay-in goes. Whistle and a foul. Send Asa to the line.
Well, wouldn't you know, it'd be Asa Newell that would save our little bacon here. Just as it was starting to get a little warm.
What execution by Georgia. They ate up all the clock, all the time on the clock, on the play clock, and then Dimry at the last second saw Newell open on the block, sent that pass right down the line. He was right under the basket, got the layup and the contact, and is going to the line for an and one. Georgia by 5 with 17.2 to go, and Coles has fouled out of the game for Grand Canyon. Jacoby Coles with the foul. And he has a seat on the bench after a 9.5 rebound game. Asa Newell for a free throw to put the Dogs up by 6. Newell, Georgia's scoring leader with 14. The left-hander floats it up and in. Good. 15 points for Asa Newell. Grand Canyon inbounds, lets the ball roll, bounce all the way to half court. Now they pick it up as he rolls over the logo. Harrison to the rack, swatted away by Samto Surreal, but he got contact and is whistled for a foul. Clock stopped with 13.8 to go. 2 shots coming for Grand Canyon. They're staring at a 6-point deficit right now. Harrison, nearly automatic at the line, 88% shooter. He's 2 for 2 tonight. .6'4", 190. From Greenville, South Carolina, the right-hander floats it up and in. He's in double figures now with 10. Actually, he's got a dozen points. Excuse me. That's his 12th point of the night. 5-point lead for Georgia. The Dogs will have possession after Harrison hits both foul shots and leads by 4. No timeouts remaining for Grand Canyon. And they're down by 4, so they're going to have to foul here as Georgia's making a substitution. Samto comes out of the ball game. Well, and the Dogs with Dimry to inbound. We've got Newell, Blue Cane, Lawrence, and LeFew on the floor, and they spread out.
First, they're going to see if they can't force a turnover on the inbound.
Yeah, Luke War going to guard the inbounds. Dimry needs the basketball. Now check a whistle, and Mike White wants a timeout back on the other end of the floor.
This is something you weren't with us down in the Bahamas, but
are you rubbing it in?
We yeah. No,
neither was Adam.
I know Adam wasn't either, but we struggled against pressure in the backcourt with St. John's, and St. John's created several turnovers, and clearly Grand Canyon has studied video. They know that this is a situation that we've had problems with, and so they're going to make it as tough for us as they can on that inbounds pass and see if they can't get a turnover real quickly. If we do get it in successfully, then will come the foul.
Dogs have turned it over 18 times in the ballgame. There have been 31 combined in this one. And
do we still have one timeout left?
No, all of ours are gone now.
This was our last.
So neither team has one remaining. Unless we say those ugly words, overtime.
Well,
but I won't say overtime.
No, I was going to say you've had your share of overtime.
13.8 remaining.
Although I will say, it's worked out well for you both times.
Not me. I'm just watching. Georgia by 4, 69-65. Final seconds of regulation. Georgia with three players with 4 fouls. Grand Canyon just lost Jacoby Coles, their 6'8" forward, to his 5th foul, and they have 2 others playing with 4. And the second half has been especially physical, and certainly on the part of the guys in purple. All right, here we go with Newell, Kane, Demery, Lawrence, and LeFew. Same lineup we had before the timeout. The official tells Silas, you can run the baseline. We all move in a little bit closer to the baseline now, and now they do a full-out sprint. Demery moves to his right, lobs it, and it's deflected out of bounds. Tyon Grant Foster trying to lob it in the far corner to Asa Newell, and Grant Foster tapped it out of bounds as he was sailing over the baseline with the basketball. It'll be Georgia ball still. They clicked about a second or a half second off the clock. It's 12.6 now with that touch of the basketball. And now they're going to...
They want to make sure they got the time right.
I think Bryce Drew's going to request a time check, so now they're going to have to come to the monitor again.
And during that time check,
they get a free timeout.
Bryce Drew will get an opportunity to talk to his squad.
Exactly.
Funny how that works.
You know, they should probably, unless the officials generate that call, I mean, you know, give the coaches challenges. All right, we want to challenge that. And once the challenges are out,
it's done.
I mean, because inside the last 2 minutes of these games, it's the referee looking at TV show. That's what it turns into, which is what they're doing now to check, see how much time is on the clock. Because Tyon Grant Foster tipped the ball and knocked it back out of bounds on Georgia's entry pass. And some time ticked away, so now they're trying to get it precise down to the 10th of a second if they adjusted it all. It's at 12.6 right now.
And that's exactly, we've got a good look at it. And it was 13.5.
So the officials have to do math. And what will they adjust it to? Talking to the scores table down below us.
12.3, did he say?
13.3.
13.3.
Yeah, so they put, 7/10 of a second, a little more than half a second back on the game clock. And for the third time, Georgia will try to inbound the basketball when play resumes. All right, Anthony Jordan, one of the officials, telling everyone the freebie is over.
Get back to work.
Play. Yeah, let's finish this game so
that's right.
You can go on with the rest of your night. So Luke Warr will guard the inbound for Grand Canyon, 6'9" and 215, long and rangy in his 6th year, the transfer from Oregon. And it looks like this time, instead of Demery doing it, Dakota LeFew is going to inbound, and he can't run the baseline. He has to hold his ground. LeFew looking over the 6'9" Warr. High lob. Ball is loose. Oh, we got a holding foul on Grand Canyon. Trying to inbound it on a rainbow lob to Newell, and they held him up trying to chase the basketball. They call him for a foul, and that's going to put the Dogs on the free throw line on the other end of the court. The foul was on Styles Phipps, a 6'2" freshman who has a clean slate prior to that whistle. That's his first foul of the night. Double bonus for Georgia, so Asa Newell's going to get two foul shots to try to, I would say ice the game, but I won't say ice the game. Leading by 4, he's going to get 2 free throws. Deep breath for Newell. Free throw number 1 by the left-hander is all net. And Grand Canyon will substitute. There's only 4 guys in purple on the foul lane. Everybody else for Georgia's back behind Asa. So now 3 guys on the foul lane, and Georgia leads by 5. Newell can give the Dogs a 6-point lead with 13.3 remaining. Free throw going to roll in there good. It caught rim, but rolled in for him. 71-65 Dogs, 10 seconds to go. Into the front court comes Grand Canyon. Harrison left alone for an open three, and it's good.
Wow.
He rips it from the right side, 6.4 seconds to go.
Give him credit. I mean, you had to hit a tough shot there.
Yep. Well, we didn't guard him. It's a 3-point lead again. 71-68, LeFew moving along the baseline, throws it into Lawrence. They got a foul. They're not fouling. And finally they do, right in front of the bench.
Don't tell them. If they don't know, don't tell them.
3.5. 3.5 to go. And Georgia will get more free throws. This will be Tyron Lawrence on the left end of the court, shooting
Scott,
a pair.
You're exactly right. They probably let 3.5 seconds, valuable seconds, go by until somebody had to let the cat out of the bag and let them know.
I couldn't tell who was surrounding Lawrence. I mean, they've got 2 other guys with 4 fouls. Maybe it was one of them. I don't want to foul out of the game. Free throw by the left-handed Lawrence is up and in. And that should do it. That's a 4-point lead. But make one more just for safekeeping. Lawrence from Monticello, Georgia, cleans up the mess with 2 free throws. 73-68, 3.5 seconds to go. Grand Canyon inbounds. Moore at half court, going to heave it up from the logo. It'll hit the backboard. No good, and that's the ball game.
Wow.
Georgia survives in a tight one in the second half. It's the Dogs 73, Grand Canyon 68. Georgia off to a 9-1 start now for the first time since the 2001-2002 season when Jim Herrick was the head coach on a team that started 11-1 on the year. So good things happening for Georgia basketball. Bulldogs a winner here in Atlanta on the Holiday Hoops Giving event. 73-68 your final. Pre-game, the post-game show, rather, straight ahead, brought to you by Regions, is right around the corner here on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Wrap things up after Georgia 73-68 win. Check some scores going on around the nation really quick. Bedlam on the hardwood. 13th ranked Oklahoma taking on Oklahoma State. All Sooners in the first half. 30-16. Still 5 minutes to go in the first half there. 7th ranked Alabama hosting Creighton tonight. 18-10 lead for the Tide there at the under 12 media timeout of that contest. Up at Madison Square Garden, number 8 Gonzaga taking on 18th ranked UConn. UConn had control of this one early. Gonzaga trying to claw their way back into it. It's 25-21, UConn with the advantage. And Dayton hosting 6th ranked Marquette. Under 8 timeout of the second half in that contest. They are all knotted up at 53 apiece. We're still waiting on the Heisman Trophy announcement. That should come here in the next 5 to 10 minutes or so. But time for us for the Toyota look ahead. The Dogs back at home Thursday night to take on Buffalo. Our pregame show comes your way at 6:35. Tip-off against the Bulls is set for 7 o'clock. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. Again, the final score from Atlanta tonight, 73-68. Georgia takes down Grand Canyon. They improved to 9-1 on the season. For Chuck, Adam Gillespie, and Scott Howard, I'm Aaron Brunk, thanking you for joining us tonight as we sign off here on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
On the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network, you've been listening to the Locker Room Report, presented by Regions. Today's coverage has been brought to you by Regions. Get your Georgia Bulldogs Regions Visa debit card or prepaid Regions Now card today. Grindhouse Killer Burgers. Live fast, eat well with Grindhouse Killer Burgers. Georgia Farm Bureau. Always the home team. And by Piedmont Healthcare, the official healthcare provider of the Georgia Bulldogs. The proceeding has been a presentation of the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network, powered by Learfield and JMI Sports.
And go wire to wire to win the SEC tournament.